Welcome back to UK Houseplant Week. I'm Meg, and today we are ticking off challenges on our kind of Sims-like houseplant challenge simulator thingamabob. This is part of my UK Houseplant Week series. They're just going to be really short, maybe 5-minute, 3-minute videos. So enjoy and follow along if you like, and tell me how far you got through the challenge list that is in this corner of the screen. Okay, let's get into it. So one of the challenges, you can do them in any order. One of the challenges is to revive a dying houseplant, and a lot of my houseplants were dying, so I didn't feel like that was fair on them. So I decided to go to my friend Anya's house and revive her mum's. This is what she handed me. Good old Kaza. Yeah, it's just roots. Roots, darling.
Roots, darling, roots.
And it is meant to be a Philodendon Scandens Brazil. So it should have this nice like stripy colour. I'll put a picture up what it's meant to look like. But as you can see, I think this was once like a cutting or something. I'm not quite sure. The roots are quite chunky, quite thick, and it's in a really nice jar. So I'll give her that. But other than that, it's well, it's still alive. That's the main thing. So we're just gonna try and revive it now. There's not much to do really. Some of these roots are completely rotten though. They've rotted off. So let me get my handy dandy snips. I don't have my handy dandy snips with me, so we're going to use scissors. Sorry Josh, but what is your horticultural ick?
Probably my ick is when people ask if they can use their blunt kitchen scissors to take cuttings from other people's gardens.
These aren't the kitchen scissors though, so it's fine. Just gonna cut that there. Try and work out what we've actually got going on. Give it a little trim. We have got some like new growth, surprisingly. I don't know how, but it's growing. You see that, the little blobs. It won't focus automatically and it's too far away for me to reach. So you're just gonna have to imagine there's like growth coming out here and here. Just imagine it's in focus. So that's hopeful. So it's alive. Oh, and then we've got a little root forming. There's a little bubble down there and it's facing downwards, so we know that that's a little root forming from this node. So it's got hope to survive. We don't want too many of the rotten roots in there, because then they can spread diseases. I'm not sure how they became rotten in the first place, whether it was overwatering or something like that, but typically when you overwater something, you get a disease that comes along with that, like a bacteria or something, like Phytophthora or Arwinia or something like that. Arwinia is mainly, I think, in bulb plants, so like lilies and stuff get it a lot. So there's a lot of nodes along this one vine. So I think we're going to like bury it, so it's almost like, so it's going to be like that, just poking out the soil. So it can try and utilize these points along its stem to grow more roots. Get a trusty dandy pot. This isn't glamorous. This is not an aesthetic channel. I try to be, but it really doesn't work out that way. And I've got a mix in a Total Yogurt pot. This is not sponsored, but I mean, Total Yogurt, if you want to sponsor me for these videos, you're more than welcome. We've got 5% fat. Some fats are good, guys. Some fats are good. And I've mixed like basic potting compost with a whole load of bark, small bark pieces and large bark pieces, like orchid bark stuff. And that's it. There's no worm castings, there's no perlite. This isn't a fancy mix. It's just is what it is. And partially my reasoning for that is because I don't have the other things and I'm not going to buy them just for this video. Maybe if I was to do a like massive repot of everything and like potting up that I normally do in the summer, then I'll buy some like worm castings or go all out with something or other. So when you're trying to revive plants like this, you want to use like a nice nutrient-ish rich soil, but you don't want to add like fertilizer to the soil, even though you're like, oh, it's like food, it will grow. But any new roots that it puts out, it can burn them if you put too much. So let the roots get established, nice chunky strong roots, and then you can add your fertilizer later when you know the plant is properly rooted. So I'm just twisting it in there so to get maximum amount of nodes in the soil, and then I'm gonna fill it up. Fill me up. Just water it in. When you're potting up plants, you need to water them in so they won't have that contact with the soil. Yeah, that's about it. So hopefully this one will revive itself. It's in a pretty good condition. I don't know if I want to keep it near my nice plant. I might put it there on the ledge next to them, because some of this, oh, this is shocking turn of events. This one of my, it's an anthurium seed that I germinated, and yeah, doesn't look very anthurium-y. Mainly because I haven't watered it, because I forgot. I think that's the story of my plant life. I just forget to water things. I've got to find somewhere to put it on, something to put it on, so it doesn't like make nothing mouldy. I think what we're gonna go with here, we're gonna go with a Cadburys wrapper, guys. So plastic obviously repels water, to stop it leaking onto the, I think it's like MDF cardboardy thing. I know it's pretty solid. It's not sponsored by Cadburys, but I wish it was. So can go there for the time being. That is what you call upcycling. That is upcycling to a T. So now I've got to remove this like bog water. Oh, I spilt it. I don't have my kitchen roll with me. Right, well that's it for today's challenge. I'm gonna say I have revived that one because it was in a little bit of a neglected situation there, Kaz. But don't you worry, I'll revive it and I'll get it back to you ASAP. I think that's all it needs, to be honest. A little bit of love and you have a nice bushy Philodendon Brazil in no time. So that's it for today. If you're following along with me, let me know what challenges you have done, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.